You may have heard of database decision making. Ed Kaminsky with the Kaminsky Real Estate Group. And I'm just going to share a quick story when database decision making was left off the table. A past client of mine who I had done business with called me for some advice on a home that they were going to sell. Her mother had owned, had passed away, and it was going to be a trust sale. And in this situation, it was emotion, I think, that probably stood in the way more than anything, because this client had a very strong need for the money. The money was going to be important. The money was going to fund the rest of her life, right? So clearly focusing on how much money you can get became paramount than anything else, which meant all of the information they were hearing, it was the numbers that made the most impact on their thought process. So here's what happened. I did a thorough analysis on the property and told them what I really thought the home would sell for. I believe of approaching clients with honesty, and I know all agents say the same thing, but you see what really happens on the streets. And they're either not 100% honest, or they just don't know how to analyze property properly. But that being one of really my greatest skills, which is numbers and appraisals, I spent a lot of time helping them understand where the value was, which I said $1,695,000. And I went through every comp in the area, why it would sell at that price, how I knew it. I lived in the neighborhood, so dozens of properties, probably hundreds of properties. I did videos. I provided all the data, analytics, everything. And then the next agent came in and said, I'll get you $1,950,000. Now, if you're a seller, what do you want? Do you want this or do you want that? As most sellers do, they want the higher price. And why would another agent tell them anything they can't do or can't perform? Well, the story goes like this. They chose not to use me, who they had a great experience with in the past, and go for this number. And they sent a letter explaining that the family was the most important thing. Protecting the family and getting them as much money as possible was important. And whatever the agent said, that what they do to sell homes sounded good to them. So it just sounded good. And I guarantee you, if they told them $1.5 million and they said all those things that they do as a company, they probably would have thought our company's better. But that's what happened. So what happened after that? Home didn't sell, sat there. And then they dropped the price to $1,795,000. No action. A month later, they dropped it to $1,695,000. And I got something I've never received before in my 35 years in real estate. I got an apology letter from the seller. I didn't expect this. I don't know if it made me feel any better, but they said, you were right. We should have listened to you. We were acting with our emotions and not really paying attention. And it's going to sell for exactly what you said it is. And what did she end up selling it for? $1,600,000. I can't guarantee you, but I promise you, there's a high likelihood if they listed it at this price in the beginning, when all the interest is there, when the buyers are out there looking, it would have sold very close to this price. So this was about $100,000 mistake with acting on emotions and not database decisions. So something to think about. If you can look at the data, understand the data when you're making any kind of major financial decision, use that as your guide. Emotion is going to drive everybody, but use that as your guide when you're making these financial decisions. So with that note, hopefully you can save $100,000 with your next decision. Thanks for watching.